My dad's mistress wants to adopt me, and she's trying to pretend like she loves me. But I know her reasoning. It's for my inheritance. I first discovered my dad was having an affair when I was 11 years old. I didn't really realize it was an affair then, but I knew my dad was always smiling at the sales manager, Caroline. My dad, Kenneth, ran a brewery which had been the family business for decades. Being the only child of his parents, he was the apparent heir to the multi-billion-dollar business with 6 branches in different countries. But he was not fully in charge yet since his parents, Ron and Mary, were still alive. Although they're both old, yet they still come to the headquarters office, which was in Atlanta, where we all stayed once every month to check how the business was faring. Being the only child of my parents as well, my grandparents made sure that my dad always brought me to the brewery every week, because, in his words, "I want Lillian to be familiar with everything in this brewery, the production, refinery, packaging, and everything, because once I'm gone and you're gone, she's going to inherit all these one day, and I want to keep this business in line, because it's been running for decades, and it'll continue to run till the world ends if it chooses to." I can't say if it's out of respect or fear that my dad does everything my grandfather says, but he doesn't anyways. I kind of understand it though, if he obeys Papa due to fear, because honestly, Papa always held this face that shows he is not to be ducked with. He knows what he wants and he goes for it regardless of anything or what anyone thinks, and for as long as I can remember, Mama always told me I have Papa's attitude. Perhaps that's why Papa had a special liking for me, or maybe it's because I was his only granddaughter then. I can't say, but I choose to believe it was the former, because that was that Mama told me all the time. Because of Papa's instructions to always keep me in the brewery, I always spend a lot of time with the sales manager, who I did not know then was having an affair with my father, but the child in me suspected it. Although unsure, I had this creepy feeling. It was real. Very real. I discovered my dad was having an affair assuredly the day I turned 16. I remember the day vividly now more than anything I could ever remember in my life. It was a sunny day. I woke up with my mom singing the popular Happy Birthday song. I was still dizzy, but I tried to stretch myself and rub my eyes to make me fully see my mom, who was holding a chocolate cake with 15 candles on them. Yet, that was me, the fast mathematician, and smiling so broadly I was scared her cheeks could burst. "So, blow the candles and make a wish, birthday girl," she said, still smiling broadly. "Mom, I'm 15, not 14, I said, pointing at the candles. "Oh, Lily, I know you're 15, my darling, but I found out that one of the candles was missing this morning. Never mind, it's the thought that counts, you know." "I know," I said as I blew the candles and made a wish. Honestly, I don't have any wishes, so I really just wish for a great year with my family. My mom dropped the cake on the table and gave me a long hug. I didn't know I needed the hug. We stared at each other for a long time and I hugged her again. My mom had to be the most sweetest human I know. She was kind, gentle, quiet, and drama-free. Sometimes I wonder if she was really my biological mother, because we were the exact opposite of each other. She was everything I was not, and I was everything that she was not, but one thing that unfailingly reminds me that she's my bio mother is that I had all her features. She had a model physique, tall, slim, with long legs. She was also a brunette with long hair, and whenever she smiled, she deceived people that she was 10 years younger than her actual age. The only thing that showed that she's given birth is the stretch mark on her lower tummy, where she was surgically operated when she was about to give birth to me. Sometimes I feel that my dad did not deserve her, but I've heard stories from Papa and Mama, how they both fought for their love, and it was always a story I always loved to hear. Until recently, then, when I noticed that things had become somewhat stiff between them. Although I could not put my finger on what it was exactly, I knew it could be bad if it wasn't already, and that was why I had to make a wish that my family stayed together, after which I blew out the candles. I asked my mom why my dad wasn't there to wish me a happy birthday, but she said he had an early morning at the office and he would come by later. My mom put down a wrapped in my favorite color box, yellow. I unwrapped the gift, and there in it lies a beautiful yellow gown and purple shoes with a beautiful painting board and color palette. I dreamt of being an artist one day. It was everything I wanted, and I planned to wear the dress for my birthday party, because I'm sure my parents, in conjunction with my grandparents, would be planning a surprise birthday party for me. I wonder if I should still call it a surprise birthday party then, since they always do it every year without fail, and I always try to pretend it was actually a surprise to me, and that I'm mesmerized by the surprise. Although I love the party, don't get me wrong, the surprise does not get me every time. My mom left my room for me to freshen up and come downstairs for breakfast. I did, and came downstairs to a meal of sweet bacon and eggs, which I could conveniently say it was my favorite food, because even the smell fills my stomach. I'm not joking. The smell just reminded me of everything good. I can't explain it, it's crazy. I then decided I was going to the brewery to see my father. When I told Mom I was going to see Dad, she suggested I just wait for him since he was still coming home anyways. But I had to see him. All the years I've celebrated my birthday, he was always there with Mom to wake me up and wish me a happy birthday. But not seeing him today by my bedside was weird. And it was a Saturday, so why not take the liberty to just go see him? I'm not doing anything else. My mom told her driver to drop me at the brewery and then come back to get her at the grocery store, since she needed to do some shopping. Mr. Paul, who had been Mom's driver for 5 years, was the funniest man I've ever met. He had gotten a cupcake and written 15 on it with a butter and slippery way that was so funny and had made me laugh quite hard. When he dropped me off, I headed straight to my dad's office. As I opened the door, I began to hear a little bit of an argument. I couldn't hear clearly, but I heard my dad say, "You can't keep this, Caroline. This would destroy my marriage and destroy my business." I turned on the doorknob, and they were both startled to see me. For a few minutes, nobody reacted or moved. At least, my dad said, "Lillian, baby, I don't know what you heard, but whatever it is you heard, it's not what you think." I honestly couldn't move, but tears were streaming down my eyes. I turned to Caroline and asked her, "Are you pregnant for my dad?" She looked at my dad first and then me, and with a loud howl, she said, "Ask your damn father," and rushed out of the office. I looked at my dad as well, and everything about him was just disgusting to me at the moment. I also rushed off with tears in my eyes. I met some of the staff in the lobby asking me what the matter was, but I couldn't wait to reply. I couldn't even voice it out. I kept thinking all these just had to be a joke, some sort of nightmare. Except it wasn't, it was real. I could not go home, could not do anything. My phone vibrated, and I saw it was from Papa video calling me. Mama's probably with him, and they were calling to wish me a happy birthday, but I couldn't pick their calls up. I couldn't even reply the birthday messages from my friends because I just wasn't in the right mood. I knew I needed to tell my mom. When? How? Where? I don't know, but I needed to tell her. I called my mom to come get me besides a popular donut shop. I must have sounded really scared because she arrived in less than 15 minutes to a 23-minute drive. Immediately, I saw her car racing towards me. I knew she was driving herself because her driver was not allowed to drive beyond, as instructed by my dad. As soon as she parked, I entered the car and she drove off the route back home, but parked in a secluded place on the way. She turned to me and asked what happened. I said, "Dad's having an affair, and she's pregnant." I said immediately, and as I said those words, I could almost feel the anger that rose in me again. I checked my mom's face to see her reaction. At first, I could not read her expression. She looked shocked, but not too shocked, and then put on her face an expression of dismissal. She took my hands and gently placed her hands on it and said, "Lily, I discovered your dad was having an affair 6 years ago when you were just 10. When I confronted him about it, He apologized and stopped the affair, but after some time he would start again. This had been going on and off for 6 years now, and I was planning on telling you next week. Just now, to not spoil your birthday mood, but I'm filing for a divorce. Don't worry, Lily, you'll always have me. Immediately she said that. I could not imagine if she meant she wanted to divorce my dad. I know he made some bad decisions, but this could literally ruin my life. I've never imagined myself to be someone that would have separated parents, not to say divorce. I could not process it, but I knew that for my mom to make this kind of decision, she had thought it through and I just had to accept it. We drove back home and I just went to lock myself in my room. I didn't know if my mom confronted my dad, but no argument ensued, and I did not ask questions even when my party did not hold that night. I knew things were going to change badly. I just didn't know how bad. One thing about this earth is that it doesn't stop rotating even if you're in turmoil, and people don't stop living even when you're mourning. I resumed back to school on Monday even when I did not feel like it. My two best friends, Tessie and Leo, tried to comfort me and made me feel like myself again, but it wasn't working. I was becoming absent-minded in class, and I knew that I needed my grades high if I would be going to college the following year. Not that I can't get into college, especially with Papa's connections, but Papa is old-fashioned, and he had always believed in hard work and merit, and I as well. Now he won't change his beliefs for me. 2 months later, I came home with my two best friends, Tessie and Leo. Immediately, the driver dropped us off in the compound. We began hearing voices. There's no easy way to say this, but both my parents were shouting at each other in an elite environment. I told Tessie and Leo to leave because I did not want them to witness whatever was going to happen next. I decided to stay by the door to hear everything that was being said. "Papa will cut me off, Loveth. Is that what you want?" I heard my dad say. "I don't care, Ken. I really don't care if Papa cut you off. I'm tired of this marriage, and I can't continue to stay in it just because of your own selfish interest. Just leave me be. Leave me alone and stay with your damn mistress. She's pregnant, isn't she? Good Lord, you even got her pregnant, and you want me to keep pretending in this marriage just because you don't want Papa to cut you off? If you wanted it so much, then maybe you could have kept your stick in your pants. Just sign the divorce papers, damn it." I heard her voice fade off, and I knew she stormed out. I put 2 plus 2 together and realized Dad did not want to sign the divorce papers because he was scared Papa will cut him off when he realizes he got divorced. The divorce process continued for about 7 months, and as much as Dad did not want Papa and Mama to know about it, that was completely out of control, because Mom packed out our home to an apartment she bought some 2 years ago, and I moved in with her. The whole planning and moving was easy and didn't even affect her physically as I thought it would, and that really made me imagine that she must have been planning this for years now. The building she bought, her business, everything made sense now because some 3 years ago, she was a stay-at-home mom doing YouTube videos and working out, but she, instead, wanted to open her fashion line 3 years ago. And with the influence of being the wife of a famous Kenneth Rubyv, she quickly made a name for herself, and it all made sense then, I could see. Everything was pretty much the same. Nothing really changed except that Dad wasn't there. After the divorce finally became official, Papa paid us an unexpected visit in my mom's home. Nobody officially told Papa that my parents were divorced, but Papa had eyes and ears everywhere. So I was not really surprised that he knew. It was Sunday, and Mom and I were having her special Sunday recipe of cheese sauce, queso, and butter when Papa showed up at the door. He came with his lawyer and my dad as well. My dad was honestly looking leaner than he has ever looked. He must have been eating or sleeping wrong. I don't know, and maybe both. Papa said the cause of the meeting was to let everyone know he had changed his will because he did not want someone who's a betrayal, non-trustworthy, and indisciplined to take charge of the family business that had been in existence for decades. He said he thought long and hard about it, and he decided to cut Papa off from the family business. He was no longer the heir. That was some news to take in. Papa then realized the second bomb by saying I would inherit the family business and his wealth once I became legal age of 18. My dad looked at me like I've just stolen his birthright, which would be safe to say so, except I didn't steal it. It was given to me just now. My mother looked at me like I've just won the lottery because I also the heir to her business and her wealth, half of which she got from the divorce proceedings from my father. And my father was near broke, but nobody really considered how I felt in all this. My career, even. I don't know, I just wanted to be an artist, not cut off this family drama. It was as if my mom planned all these things because I just came back from school one day and found her lying lifeless on the floor in her room. I was too stunned to speak, but I called the ambulance amidst tears and fears. The doctor pronounced her dead on arrival. The doctor said that she's been battling with a heart attack for some years, and they warned her against tedious work, but the business she tried to build in the past 2 years really did a number on her. After the burial, it was a hard period for me, and everything seemed so weird. My friends came frequently to stay with me, but it just wasn't the same. I needed my mom. Finally, I had resumed college at the Art Institute of Atlanta the following week, and surprise, there was Caroline bringing me a cup of coffee. She was also holding her child in a stroller. What was she doing here? A lot of questions ran through my mind, but in the end, what this woman was doing was that she said she wanted us to become friends. How would I become friends with someone who was indirectly the cause of my mom's death? Unknowing to me then, this was the plot she had hatched with my dad to make her adopt me. So then I would be her daughter. This woman was obviously a gold digger because she was trying everything fake for me to become her daughter. I thought about it then. I would be 18 soon, and the future of Papa's business and Mom's wealth lied on me. There was no way, and I mean no way, I could handle it. I would fail at it terribly, so I decided the best thing for me was to run away. Run away forever. The day I clocked 18, I went to the bank, requested the part of my mom's money, stuck it in the bag that I was carrying, destroyed my SIM card, and well, I fled from home. I've ghosted everyone since then, and I wouldn't say my life's fabulous, but I'm living my career dream. Because I've been painting and putting it for sale online, and people are actually buying it. Guys, this story was crazy. I'm just happy OP was able to get away from this, smash her SIM card, take the little bit of savings she had, and start her new life and the career that she loves. If you've ever been in a similar situation, tell me your story about running away. Guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Drop your comments down below, subscribe to the channel. I will catch you in the next one, guys. Tomorrow, I have a very special video coming out, so stay tuned for that one. Have an amazing day. I'll catch you then.